Tampa Bay pinning their hopes on the rookie from Grambling. Pat Haden having a tough time lately for the Rams. Had 3 intercepted on Monday night against Atlanta.
No question. But I talked to Doug Williams prior to the game, and he says the one thing that we've got to do, and especially as a rookie quarterback, he says he really has to concentrate on keeping his mistakes to a minimum. And that's the key right now. If Tampa Bay can keep those mistakes to a minimum, I think we'll have a great ball game today.
As we look at referee Jim Tunney indicating that the Rams have won the toss, Tampa Bay is going to be kicking off, and we'll take a look at the officiating crew. Jim Tunney heads it, and there's the rest of the group who will be making some of the decisions this afternoon. And if the way things have gone so far this year in the NFL means anything, the officials' calls may play an important part in the game today. Last year, these two teams met almost exactly a year ago here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. The Rams won it easily by a score of 31-0. But at that point in their history, Tampa Bay had never won a football game. This is a different team, Tommy.
I think they are, too. And they are a great defensive ball club. They're all over the field. One of the things that we've got to watch, though, today, Bob, is the fact that they have a lot of injuries on the defensive linebacking corps. So we may see a better pass rush by Tampa today, because I have a feeling they're going to go to a four-man set instead of their 3-man set on the defensive line.
Neil O'Donohue, who has had his problems lately place kicking, but has done a good job of kicking off, usually puts it down close to the goal line, will boot this one with Jerry Latin, whom the Rams picked up midway through the season from the St. Louis Cardinals, waiting at the goal line for O'Donohue's kick. And it is Latin at about the 2. Across the 20-yard line and not much more. As the Rams prepare to go to work with the first play from scrimmage, there's a look at their outstanding offensive line. And these are the targets for Pat Haden: Willie Miller, Ron Jesse, tight end Terry Nelson. And in the backfield, former Heisman Trophy winner John Cappelletti, Lawrence McCutcheon, their all-time leading rusher in Ram history, back now after missing the first 5 games of the season with an injury, and Pat Haden at quarterback. A lot of pressure on Haden this week. Some of the local fans wanted Vince Ferragamo, the young man from Nebraska, to get the starting nod, but Ray Malavasi has stayed with Haden, who will put it in the air on a first down play. Out of the backfield for Cappelletti, who is out to about the 27 or 28-yard line before he's spun down by left cornerback Jarris White. They play the 3-4 at Tampa Bay. Hannah Pear and Leroy Selmon, whom we talked about at the beginning of the telecast. David Lewis, Dewey Selmon, Richard Wood, and Rick Bonas, in place of the injured Cecil Johnson, make up the linebacking corps. And there's the secondary: White, Washington, Cotney, and Brown. Second down, 4 yards to go from the 28. McCutcheon. Close to a first down, but short of it. It'll be 3rd and about 1, and again, Jarris White was in on the tackle.
This defensive team moves very well laterally along the line. They're quick, and they're agile, and they're big, and they do a great job. I've had the opportunity to do a couple of the games this year for Tampa Bay, and this team defensively has kept them in their contests. Right now, they could be even 7-2 right now very easily, because they've blown a few games just because it's a young ball club, Bob, and they're prone to mistakes.
Last week was a tough one for them to lose. Leading 7-6 in the final minute, a Chester Markle field goal beat them at Green Bay. Short yardage situation, 2 tight ends, Nelson and Young, both in on 3rd and 1. And they give us to Cappelletti, and Johnny Cappelletti has the first down, it appears, for the Rams.
Yeah, you look at John Cappelletti, the former Heisman Trophy winner. Here's a guy who's a durable back. He can do it all. He's great coming out of that backfield. And he's not the biggest back in the country. He's not the fastest, but he gets the job done. This is the kind of back that I know that Carroll Rosenblum really likes to have on his team.
First down for the Rams, who lead the NFC in ball control. They have kept the ball the largest percentage of the time in their game so far this year of any team in the conference. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, is last in NFC ball control. Their defense has spent a lot of time on the field. McCutcheon goes out the left side, breaks the tackle, and turns it upfield. McCutcheon out to around the 45, a slashing type run, and that's his style of play.
This is a good play, because this is where you take the advantage of the best. Watch Cappelletti leading the block right here. McCutcheon cuts inside the block of Cappelletti, keeps his balance, almost gets caught in the backfield, lowers his head right here, and gets a first down, a big yardage play. Good first down, solid play. That's the kind of, that's what you like to have.
McCutcheon picked up 11 yards on the play. It took Lawrence McCutcheon only 69 games to become the team's all-time leading runner. It had taken Dick Bass 112 games to set the Ram record that McCutcheon broke. And this is McCutcheon carrying again. When you pick up good first down yardage like that, it really puts the defense in a bind because your options are open on 2nd and 3rd down.
You're right there. The thing that you're trying to do is you're trying to get anything over that 4 to 5 yard, 6 yard mark so that you really put the defense at a disadvantage, Bob, because they can look for the run, they have to look for the pass, they have, you know, they've got every option available to them. And a quarterback always likes to have that field position moving all the time, getting those good first down plays.
2nd down, and we'll call it 7. McCutcheon unofficially 3 carries so far for 18 yards. Haden on the draw to Cappelletti. And Cappelletti, cutting back the other way, is down to around the 45-yard line of Tampa Bay, and that will be close to a first down.
This is just a draw from the ground level right here. Haden is setting up. Cappelletti makes a move to the inside, sees it plugged up. Watch him break to the outside, plants that foot, looks for those blockers, and picks up good yardage on it. You know, Cappelletti's only averaged 3 yards per carry, and he's really the lowest in the NFL as far as the top 40 ball carriers. He has only gained more than 10 yards just 7 times this year. On 116 carries, about 118. He's got the first.
That's the 3rd first down in this drive so far for the Rams. The Rams, as you know, have dropped 2 in a row after opening up 7-0. At that point in the season, they had a 4-game lead on New Orleans and Atlanta. That lead had been cut to 2 as both the Falcons and Saints were 5-4, with the Rams at 7-2 at the start of the day. The Rams have not lost 3 games in a row since 1969, when they opened with 11 straight wins and then lost their last 3 of the season. McCutcheon. About 4 to the 41. Dave Pear, the nose tackle, made the stop.
You'll get a chance here to watch Leroy Selmon as he moves laterally right here. You'll see him contain the block being fired out upon. Pushes it off to the side, beats it, comes up, makes the tackle right there. This guy is all over the field, Bob. He is some kind of a ball player. We do have an update on one thing that's, I think, is interesting because, you know, this guy is the greatest back in my estimation, and O.J. Simpson is out right now with a suffered shoulder separation in an Atlanta game that they lost.
2nd down and 6. Haden to Cappelletti. And Cappelletti for another Los Angeles first down before Dewey Selmon, who leads the Tampa Bay club in tackles, stopped Cappelletti.
You know, Cappelletti is great because he has that great lateral movement. He's coming out here on just what we call a quick screen. He's set up, looks for his blockers. Watch the cuts that he makes here to be able to get this first down. He keeps his feet moving, and he's always going towards that goal post.
The 4th first down in the drive, just inside the 35-yard line of Tampa Bay. We have 10 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Rams have kept the ball since the opening kickoff. That's Willie Miller in motion. He's the Rams' leading receiver with 29 catches. McCutcheon tries to go outside, and he'll lose yardage. Mark Cotney, number 33, came up from his strong safety spot. He thinks he has a fumble, but the officials say no. The whistle blew, and it's still Ram ball.
Here's some finals and some scores. Green Bay, Philadelphia knocked off Green Bay. Green Bay was right there with 7-2. Philadelphia, good ball clubs, 10-3 final. New Orleans really gave them a scare in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had to score in the last 2 minutes to upset New Orleans 20-14.
And Minnesota, with Fran Tarkenton being shaken up in the game, but eventually coming back in, defeats Detroit 17-7. 2nd down and 12, and Tampa Bay brings in the 5th defensive back. They go with the nickel in a passing situation. Haden on a long count with time to throw. And at the sideline, Ron Jesse was unable to hold on with Jarris White all over him. He had it briefly, but White hit him hard.
Here we can see Haden setting up right now, having plenty of time to throw the ball. Throws it straight out there. Tampa's using their defense of zone defense right up there, and it's a great play defensively, coming over the top and knocking the ball out. Official right there, so there was no interference, Bob.
3rd and 12 now for Haden, who's completed 52% of his passes with 7 touchdowns, but he's had 14 intercepted. Last year, he had the lowest interception total in the entire NFL, just 6 picked off, more than twice that figure already this year.
They're coming with the blitz.
Haden has time to unload. And at the sideline, Jesse gathers it in, but they say he was out of bounds. Jesse could not get his feet down, and it will be 4th down for the Rams.
Last Monday night, the Falcons came after him with the blitz. Tampa's coming after him with the blitz. He sets up, throws it perfectly to the sideline, but you could see he does not have his feet, both feet inbounds. A good call by the official.
Number 19 is Glenn Walker. Only half of his 42 punts so far this year have been returned, and that is the best figure in that regard in the NFC. The deep man is Danny Reese, standing at about the 10. Walker obviously aiming for the coffin corner here, with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the first quarter. Reese lets it bounce and then picks it up, and down he goes at the 5.
That's dangerous right there, I'll tell you.
Jim Jodat, number 43, got down there on the coverage, made the tackle on Reese. It's Tampa Bay ball at the 5 with 9:01 left in the first. Atlanta beats San Francisco 21-10. The Falcons 6-4. The 49ers having trouble. A coaching change this past week. They fall to 1-9. Doug Williams hands to Ricky Bell on first down from deep in Tampa territory, and he doesn't go very far.
Got another final right here. New England over Buffalo. Buffalo gave him a tough ball game, 14-10. We also have another final of St. Louis 20, the New York Giants 10.
And so after losing their first 8, Bud Wilkinson's Cardinals put together a little winning streak, 2 in a row.
Makes your hometown people a little bit happy, don't it?
I tell you, the heat was on there for a while. 8:28 showing on the first quarter clock. It's 2nd down and 7. Williams retreats to the end zone and almost falls down, unloads to the sideline, and Morris Owens makes the catch.
It's out of bounds.
Out of bounds. It will not count. They'll bring it back. Boy, does Williams have a bazooka for an arm. He was falling down and he threw that 40 yards in the air. There's the offensive line, charged with the responsibility of protecting Doug Williams. They've done it well. He's been sacked only once in the last 4 games. John McKay, the coach's son, Morris Owens, and Jim Obradovich are his receivers. Williams, Bell, and Davis in the backfield. Johnny Davis and Doug Williams are the only rookies who have won starting jobs in the NFC in the backfield.
That's right. I'll tell you, that was a gutty call by the young quarterback. He really threw it on the line. This guy's got a great arm, Bob. We get a chance to see him. He could throw that ball about 50 yards, about 10 feet high, and it never rose or fell at all.
They'll give it to Ricky Bell, and he will be short of a first down, and Tampa's going to have to punt from deep in their own territory.
This should give them great field position. The Rams, great field position to come right back in here. And the one thing that the Rams did in that first drive is they've dominated play again. They used up over almost 6 minutes of that clock in that first drive.
Dave Green is the punter for the Buccaneers. There he is, number 4. He's averaging 40.5 yards per kick. He's had a couple blocked. And as you can see, he's had a kick this year as long as 58 yards. There is Jackie Wallace, one of the better punt return men in the business, standing at his own 45. And that's where he takes this kick from Green. He is into Tampa territory and down at about the 47-yard line of the Buccaneers. The clock reads 7 minutes and 31 seconds to play in the first quarter at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. We have no score, and the Rams have the ball. The St. Louis-New York final superimposed over the Ram cheerleaders, which is what they prefer to be called now, instead of the embraceable U's, which was their original nickname. That went out the window along with all the furor over the NFL cheerleaders. A little razzle-dazzle as Terry Nelson comes around from his tight end spot and breaks the tackle for good yardage on a first down play.
Again, you'll be able to see the reverse, a tight end coming around, both the backs coming up. Tight end reverse it is, right out there, number 54. Just blows the tackle right there. He should never let him get around that corner. He's out in front. Tom Mack leading the play. Good tackle, big yardage, close to a first down, Bob.
There's a look at Pat Haden. He has not played especially well in the past couple of weeks. And, Tom, one theory advanced on that is the fact that his wife is expecting a baby any day now, and he's very concerned over it.
He's not only concerned about it, but he's carrying one of those little beepers around just in case it happens, so he knows when it's happening.
He's completed 2 of 4 so far for a total of 12 yards. Both of his completions, short tosses out of the backfield to John Cappelletti. Nelson got the first down. So now from the 37, it's 1st and 10. McCutcheon, the second man out of that I formation for short yardage on 1st down.
You know, it's really interesting, this big game that they're having down in Miami right now against Dallas. Miami-Dallas. Miami's winning 14-0, and that's still in the first quarter. They must be really putting it to them. We also have an update on a couple other scores. Denver 7 over the New York Jets. And the Houston-Cleveland game is tied at 7-7 in the 3rd quarter.
Remember early in the year when people said Dallas couldn't even figure out a way to lose more than 2 or 3 all season? They may be on their way to their 4th defeat already. Hayden dropping back on 2nd and 9. This time it's McCutcheon taking the low swing pass and doing something with it. Inside the 20, inside the 10, and down to the 3. McCutcheon knew what to do once he latched onto that one.
He sure did. Again, you'll see the play right back here. It's just a quick screen back to the outside. The blitz is on. He dumps it off to McCutcheon. Watch Tom Mack out in front right there. Here's where he breaks the tackle right there. A great block coming back from the receiver. Going back out, he picks up 33 yards on that play, Bob.
Mark Cotney prevented the touchdown with the tackle, but it is 1st and goal from the 3. Seattle defeats Chicago this afternoon. The Bears rallied but fell short. The Seahawks 31 and the Bears 29, and the Bears have lost 7 in a row. Hayden hands to McCutcheon on 1st down, and McCutcheon squirms near the goal line but short of it. Dewey Selmon wrapped him up.
Boy, that was a hard hit tackle right there. He really drove into him, and McCutcheon kept his feet going and picked up about a yard on the play.
Dewey Selmon started as a defensive tackle, switched last year to linebacker. He relays the defensive signals from the bench and makes any adjustments they have to make on the field. Very intelligent young player.
It's interesting, he's working on his Ph.D. in ancient philosophy.
The philosophy here is butt heads. 2nd and goal from the 1. Cappelletti trying to go up and over, and they meet him and push him back. It'll be 3rd and goal with 5:18 to play in the 1st quarter.
Got an update on that Oakland-Kansas City game also. Oakland 14, KC 3. Usually Kansas City gives Oakland a tough time.
There you see the ball resting just outside the 1-yard line. Rod Phillips comes in, and he lines up on the left side with McCutcheon and Cappelletti behind Hayden. And Hayden rolls as if to throw and tosses to McCutcheon. He won't get there. It'll be 4th and goal. Cedric Brown cuts him down.
I'll tell you, this Tampa Bay defense is tough. They're coming out with a field goal team, and the fans don't like it one bit. But Tampa held here when they had to, and this is what makes them number 2 in the league on defense. You can see it right here. They're coming across. Number 45 plays that ball super right there. Jarris White does a super job. A good hard tackle stops them. They're denied that touchdown.
Frank Corral comes in to attempt a 20-yard field goal out of the hold of Nolan Cromwell. The Rams, who scored only 3 last week, or 2 weeks ago against New Orleans, and just 7 on Monday night against Atlanta, forced to go for the field goal. Corral put it through, but there is a penalty flag down. Let's see what Jim Tunney has to say. It's holding against the Rams, and this will push them back.
Oh, boy. Make it a little bit more of an interesting field goal from this distance.
These fans are getting impatient with the Ram offense, to be truthful about it, Tom.
Illegal use of the hands, offense number 55.
Mr. Tunney. He has a good crew. He's made some great calls already today. You know, it's a tough job being an official out there, especially with all the criticism they're getting right now.
This makes it a 30-yard field goal by Corral. And he splits the uprights from that distance, too. with 3 minutes and 57 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Rams have a 3-0 lead, but it's a moral victory for the Buccaneers because L.A. had first and goal from the 3 and couldn't get it in. The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Frank Corral, who is now hit on 13 out of 23 field goal tries, kicks off with George Ragsdale waiting deep. But this one is taken by one of the upmen, a very short kick, and brought out to the 35-yard line, and Tampa Bay will enjoy much better field position than they did on their first possession. Let's take a look at the Ram defense. Youngblood, Jones, Brooks, and Dreyer, the front four. Jim Youngblood, Jack Reynolds, and Bob Brzezinski, who has taken the starting job away from Isaiah Robertson, are the linebackers, and there is the secondary. Thomas, Perry, Elmendorf, and Simpson. Perry replacing the departed Monty Jackson this year. With 3:50 to play in the first quarter. Doug Williams will throw on first down. Incomplete.
He just got that ball off, Bob. They had a blitz on. They were coming up on him. Look at the man on the about far side out there, free as can be.
The pass was intended for Jim Obradovich. You got to look at some of Williams' stats. He's completed only 39% of his passes. That's the lowest figure in the NFC. He doesn't throw much to his backs. He has a tendency to throw deep, and that accounts for the low percentage.
And he's averaging something like 16.3 yards per catch, so he's throwing the deep ones all the time. And one of the things that he's going to have to learn as a quarterback, a young quarterback, is to start dumping it to these backs. This is where Francis Tarkington has set almost all the records on pass receiving.
Williams has started 7 of the 9 Tampa Bay games. His team is 4-3 with him as a starter. Over everybody, it'll be 3rd and 10. Morris Owens out there as the intended receiver. He's the leading Buccaneer pass catcher. He's gathered in 23 for an average of 20 yards a catch, and he scored 4 touchdowns. Doug Williams is now 0 for 3 so far.
We got an update on the Denver Jet game. The Denver is ahead 14-0 over the Jets, and that is in the first period.
Talking about Williams, he had a very tough week last week against Green Bay. Completed just 5 of 17 for a total of only 98 yards and didn't have a completion until the 3rd quarter. Isaiah Robertson is in at a linebacker spot now for the Rams in an obvious passing situation. Isaiah is coming on a blitz. Williams gets it away, and a leaping catch.
Great catch.
Jimmy Giles on the catch.
And he's down, too. Williams is down, and he's hurt. He really got nailed after it. They had the blitz on, and they really got him. We'll get a chance to see what happened to Doug right here on it. You can see Isaiah Robertson coming into the inside. The big man coming in just as he lets that ball go. He is wrapped, and it's a great catch right here. How he held onto it, I don't know, Bob.
A 13-yard pickup for him and a first down. Here's a look at the play which sent Williams to the bench.
Boy, does he get wrapped right here. I think he gets hit right under the chin. Boom.
I suspect he'll be back. They let him off, but he looks like he's not too seriously hurt. He's replaced for the time being by Mike Ray, who makes his first appearance of the season in the Tampa Bay lineup. Starts by handing to Johnny Davis, and Davis is introduced to Jack Reynolds. There's Mike Ray. They know him here. He played his collegiate ball at USC and backed Kenny Stabler up for a while at Oakland.
Boy, Mr. Reynolds came in. He was almost in the backfield before the ball was snapped on that one.
The word on Williams is he has a split lip after being hit by Jim Youngblood. It's been a tough first quarter for the Buccaneers. Dewey Selmon right now is in the locker room. They're x-raying his wrist. 2.5 minutes to play first quarter. 2nd down, 11 yards to go. Ray will throw for the first time. If he can find anybody, they've got him and a fumble. Loose football. The Rams appear to have it. They do. Cody Jones.
Boy, he's already sees the blitz, and he's turning around and running around right here. Now what you do is when you're in a crowd like that, tuck it away, but he is stripped of the ball before it hits the ground.
Jones hit him, number 76, and it looks like Dreyer who's recovering the fumble, and that's who it is. Fred Dreyer with his 5th fumble recovery of the season. So Mike Ray, who is seen on the sideline consulting with the quarterback coach Bill Nelson, gets a very rude how do you do from the LA defense.
That's right. This is where the Rams have got to capitalize on the mistakes that this young ball club's making.
From the 33 of Tampa Bay, the Rams leading 3-0, go back to work. Haden with the play-action fake, and Terry Nelson, his tight end, is wide open. There's a flag down on the play, and Nelson is down at the 13 of the Bucs.
And I think we have a holding penalty on the Rams. That's exactly what it was. That's a great break for the Bucs again. Both these clubs are making mistakes early in the ball game.
The Rams have been victimized frequently by penalties in the past several weeks.
Holding, offense, number 61. 10 yards, still first down.
Center Rich Saul was holding on the play. Let's see if we can pick it up here, Tommy.
Watch the center right there in the middle of the screen. He's holding the man, what they call a nose guard, right on top of him right there. Dave Fair. The officials right on top of it and called it.
Coach Ray Malavasi and Ram owner Carol Rosenblum have been very critical about the number of times penalty flags have been thrown against the Rams of late. Here's Cappelletti carrying and getting a lot of that yardage back. Cappelletti has a first down.
And that's got to be his longest gain this year for him. He just makes a perfect cut right here. Haden passes off. You can see Tom Mack pulling around to the outside. The back has got to follow his blockers. Number 65 out in front. He buries that linebacker right there. Cappelletti makes a great cut, keeps his balance, keeps those legs driving, and picks up a first down.
It was Aaron Brown, a rookie from Ohio State, a 10th-round draft pick, who made the tackle. And the reason why that's interesting, Cecil Johnson is out with a dislocated shoulder. Dana Knopfseger out with a sprained knee. That was before this game even began. And since then, Dewey Selmon has gone to the locker room with an injured wrist. So Tampa Bay is literally down to their last linebacker. They have nobody left on the bench.
No one at all. They've got 4 of them. They had 5 coming into the ball game. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that 4-man rush.
Cullen Bryant got 3 yards on that first down play. It'll be 2nd and 7 from the Tampa Bay 19. We have exactly 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Our first quarter, which has been played almost entirely in Tampa Bay territory. And right now they are leading Doug Williams off the field and through the locker room. So we may not see him again in this first half. Haden with a quick drop and a diving catch by Willie Miller. I think that ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage, Tom, but Miller was still able to make the catch.
I'll tell you one thing, he made a great catch on that.
His 30th reception of the year. This telecast is presented by authority of the NFL, and it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League is prohibited. They got only 3 on the play. It's 3rd and 4. This will be the final play of the first quarter in all likelihood from the 16-yard line. Haden, who has hit on 5 of 7, scrambling out of trouble and short of the first down as they drop him at the 15. Charlie Hanna makes the tackle.
From the ground level, you'll see Pat Haden right here setting up. Receivers are covered. Steps up inside the pocket, decides to run, and comes up short of the first down.
The second quarter begins with a 4th and 4 from the 16-yard line for the Rams. And Frank Corral, who kicked a 30-yarder earlier, will try a 34-yarder this time. If he hits it, it'll be 6-0 Los Angeles. Cromwell holds, and they work a fake out of it. Cromwell racing for the first down, and then some. Cromwell near the goal line. Touchdown. He took it all the way in.
What a gutty call that was. They figured they were sitting on a... Here it is from the ground level. You'll be able to see it. It's a fake. Picks that ball up. Takes it around the corner, looking for his blocking. He does some nifty maneuvering right here to get by. Gets not only the first down, but gets into the end zone. Watch the extra effort here to get in. A little squirming.
A 16-yard play from scrimmage. Nolan Cromwell is a guy that the Ram coaches feel might be the best all-round athlete on the team. A quarterback in college, a good special teams player, a secondary man when they have to bring him in the defensive backfield, and a heck of a runner, as he just showed us. Corral for the point after. It's good. And with 14:50 to play in the second quarter as we look again at Nolan Cromwell's heroics. The Rams have jumped in front 10-0. The Cowboys are in trouble at Miami.
17-0 in the second period, and Mr. Shula and the boys are putting it to him.
Frank Corral kicks off, and Danny Reese grabs it at the 10-yard line. And Danny Reese with a good return across the 35. We mentioned at the start of the game that the Rams lead the NFL in ball control while Tampa Bay is last. And you've got a stat here, Tommy, that really points that up.
I'll tell you one thing. The thing that you've got to do is have ball control. And in this first period, Tampa Bay had 8 plays and a net of 7 yards for that first quarter. That's why they're in last place. They've got to generate some offense. And I just hope that Doug Williams can get back in that ball game. They'll probably have to sew his lip up, and he'll be back in.
Before some Tampa Bay fans get mad at you, Tom, they're not in last place. The Bears have dropped 7 in a row. They're in last place.
That's right.
In the Central Division. Buccaneers 4-5. Mike Ray at quarterback in place of the injured Doug Williams. Hands to Ricky Bell, who struggles for 2 or 3 before Jack Hacksaw Reynolds makes the tackle.
They're not only worried about his lip, I think they might be worried about his jaw. We just got to notice from down on the field that they're going to take him in and examine his lip and jaw and see what's wrong with Doug with that. That's, Doug Williams, I had a chance to interview him, Bob, and here's a young, big quarterback who's got, he knows he's young and he's inexperienced, but he really enjoys this game and he's really playing his heart out.
From the 36, on a second down play, Ray retreats to throw. Get it off. A flag is down as Cody Jones wrapped Ray up. It was Jones who hit him and forced the fumble a few minutes ago.
Well, that offensive line has, not given up very many sacks recently, but right now they're getting to Mike Ray. Mike Ray cannot find that open receiver.
Jim Tunney indicates that the flag was inadvertently dropped, and there is no penalty, although a flag was down. The Rams bring in the 5th defensive back on 3rd down and 19. LA doesn't show you too much in the way of defensive combinations. They play it straight, don't blitz a lot.
They don't have to. When you're number 1, they've got something going for them that's working right, and right now they're playing great defense against this Tampa Bay's inoperative offense.
Blitz is on. Here it comes. And down goes Mike Ray again.
Face mask we got. That's a break.
Bill Simpson was coming from his free safety spot. He was in on that blitz, but as you say, it's going to work out all right for the Buccaneers because somebody grabbed Ray's face mask.
You can see right here coming through
Simpson.
Mr. Simpson grabs him by the face mask right there.
Yeah, number 48, first down.
That gives him an automatic first down, Bob. You got to have some kind of breaks to keep this game going.
Well, Mike Ray and the Buccaneers dodge a bullet there, and their drive, such as it has been, is sustained at the 32-yard line, which is about 4 or 5 yards in reverse from where they started, but they've got a first down. With 13:25 remaining in the second quarter, they trail at 10-0. Ricky Bell. Bell gets outside, runs over Rod Perry before Perry can finally force him out of bounds.
Ricky Bell has that capability to get into the outside. Right here, you'll be able to see him. He sees the holes plugged up to the inside. Not too much option except go outside, and then it's a foot race. Watch him lower his shoulder here and run right over him.
He got 11 on the play for a first down at the 46. There are Bell's stats at the start of the day. 451 yards already exceeds his total of last year, which was 436. He was bothered by bone chips in his ankle a year ago and had a disappointing rookie season after being taken number 1 ahead of Tony Dorsett. This is another rookie, Johnny Davis. Davis, who replaced the injured Jimmy DeBose and has been averaging almost 4 yards a carry, is stopped by linebacker Jim Youngblood.
He's a big back. You can see him busting through the hole right here. He goes 6'1", 230 pounds. Big boy from Alabama, boy, and he's supposed to be a terrific blocker and affords that protection for that quarterback in there.
Exactly 1 year ago today, he had a big day for the Crimson Tide, gained 124 yards against LSU for Bear Bryant's club. Kansas City rallies a bit, trailing Oakland 14-10. Davis got 6 on the first down carry. Second down and 4 from the LA 48. Ricky Bell to the 45, and it'll be 3rd and short yardage for the Buccaneers, who are in Ram territory for the first time today.
This is the first drive that they've had that even resembles any kind of a drive to get some type of momentum change in this ball game. You know, when you put that burden on that defense all the time and they're out on that field, you know, as much as they were that first quarter, the Buccaneers, and again, you have to take a look at the injuries that they have, Bob. They've got almost every one of their linebackers is hurt right now. They only got, 3 of them left.
Inside 12 minutes to play, second quarter. 3rd and 1. And they'll put it in the air. Mike Ray has the first down with the completion to tight end Jimmy Giles.
That was a great call right there. What they did is they had a little delay. They set the back straight out. Watch the tight end, number 88, Jimmy Giles. He hits in there, sustains his block for a short period of time, and then releases back out to the flat. Enough to pick up the first down and keep this drive going. They've got to get their momentum changed right now.
A 12-yard pass and run combination between Ray and Giles. The first pass completion of the season for Mike Ray. And it's a first down at the 33 of the Rams. Davis runs into a stone wall headed by middle linebacker Jack Reynolds.
No place to go on that play. The thing that Mike Ray is doing right now is he's mixing his plays well. He's running up inside, he's running to the outside, he's hitting the short pass, or at least trying to. He picked that tight end on a good call on a 3rd down and short yardage situation.
2nd and 9 coming up from the 32. A homecoming of sorts for several Tampa Bay players. 7 former USC players on the Buccaneer roster. Mike Ray is one of them. Ricky Bell another. Dave Lewis, Johnny McKay, Danny Reese, Jim Obradovich, and Mike Washington. Bell. Down close to the 25. It'll be a 3rd down play coming up.
That's good hard running to the inside in there. It's just a quick trap up off the side there. And you'll be able to see Jack Reynolds right here, number 64, playing to play himself, playing the block off right there. A good drive block, staying with him. Bell coming over, Reynolds falling off and making a tackle right there. Ricky Bell does pick up valuable yardage, puts him in a 3rd down and short yardage situation.
Ricky Bell has carried 6 times for 32 yards. Last week against the Packers, he had 20 carries for only 30 yards. 3rd and 4 from the 27. They asked Davis to get 4 yards, and he doesn't do it. Fred Dreyer cut him down at the line of scrimmage, and then Davis stumbled forward for a couple. But it'll be 4th and 2.
Let's see what Tampa's going to do. Is they're going to go for the field goal, or are they going to go for the 6 points?
Well, Neil O'Donohue, their place kicker, has had a very tough time in the past few weeks. He's hit only 1 field goal in the last 6 weeks. He missed a 35-yarder last week against the Packers that could have sewed the game up.
That's right. And they got beat out there. They're going to call a timeout. Mike Ray's going to the sideline to consult, with the coaching staff and Mr. John McKay to find out what he should call after we come back to see what's going to happen.
9:14 remaining in quarter number 2. Neil O'Donohue's longest field goal this year has been a 42-yarder. That's the distance on this one. As Dave Green kneels at the 32, O'Donohue gets it away and puts it through. And with plenty to spare, not up the back wall.
I'll tell you.
About 10 yards beyond the goalpost.
If you get a chance to get a close-up of O'Donohue, take a look at the size of this guy. He's 6'6", 200 pounds, and I think those legs go all the way up to his neck because he really has a whip on that ball. I was watching him kick before the ball game, Bob, and he can really boom him.
They're proud of him right now in Dublin, Ireland, which is where he resides. He's cut the LA lead down to 10-3 with a 42-yard field goal. It's got to be a confidence builder for him, Tom. He missed a big one last week, as we said, and he's kicked just 1, and that was only a 22-yarder in the last 6 weeks.
The thing that you've got to do is you've got to have consistency out of your kickers. Like Atlanta last week on Monday night. The bartender comes in there and kicks 5 field goals, which really upsets the Rams here and, brings them the victory. The Atlanta Falcons the victory. The Atlanta team's a good ball club, too.
Jerry Latin is the deep man standing at the goal line. O'Donohue preparing to kick it off. Latin takes it at the 5. Finally finds the handle. gets out across the 20-yard line. Larry Mucker made the tackle on him. The Bucs kept the ball for 9 plays, went 64 yards. O'Donohue capped it with a 42-yard field goal, and most importantly, they held the ball for almost 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's the important part of it. They had a sustained drive. This Mike Ray led the ball club. I hope that Doug comes back. We haven't had any update report on Doug Williams as yet, but Mike Ray went in there and did a great job. This kid's coming in there under a lot of pressure, Bob.
So the Buccaneers, who started the day with one of their leading ball carriers, Jimmy DeBose, out, 2 linebackers, Cecil Johnson and Dana Nofziger on the sideline, have now seen Dewey Selmon, perhaps their best linebacker, and their quarterback, Doug Williams, lead with injuries. Way up top for Willie Miller, and Miller had his man beaten, but Haden overthrew him.
Boy, that was still a great throw, I'll tell you. I didn't know Haden couldn't wing that ball that far. He really let that thing fly. You take a look at Haden, and he's a small guy. You know, he's only 5'11", 182 pounds, but he let that ball fly that time. He came out throwing on the first down too. That's a key thing right here. I think they're mixing. They're mixing up their offense, and it's really keeping this defense of Tampa's on their toes.
That's something they've done under Ray Malavasi more frequently than they used to under Chuck Knox.
They're that grind him out kind of ball club.
Second down and 10 from the 21. And they'll put it in the air again. Haden under some pressure gets it out of there to Cappelletti. And Cappelletti keeps his balance and gains about 5.
And that was on his own, too. Great balance by Cappelletti there. He was caught in the backfield. And you can see on the ground level right here, again, they're using these short, quick screens. Sending the backs out to the flat, getting the offensive lineman out in front. Cappelletti keeping his balance here, picking his way. Almost falls down again, picks it up. Gets some good yardage out of a play that was a bust play.
This is 3rd and 5. A lot of different ways the Rams could play it and different ways Tampa Bay could approach it defensively. Cullen Bryant joins Cappelletti in the backfield. Haden throwing on the run with a flag down off the hands of a leaping Terry Nelson and incomplete.
And I think we have a holding penalty, and I think Tampa Bay will refuse it, put them into a punting situation. Good defense by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. You know, the fans back in Tampa have got to be excited about this ball club, and I have a real good fan back there who's a fan of mine, but she's also an ardent football fan. That's my mother-in-law, Mrs. Bashan.
Holding, offense number 60, refused, 4th down.
Dennis Harrow was holding on the play, and as Tom indicated, Tampa Bay refuses it, bringing up 4th down, and Glenn Walker will have to punt to Danny Reese, who is standing at the Buccaneer 25. 8:04 to play in the first half. The Rams 10 and the Bucs 3.
They've got 10 men down there. I'm wondering if they're coming after it this time.
They are coming after it, but Walker gets the kick away in good shape. Drives Reese back to the 20. And he doesn't go much further than that. They bring him down at the 25. Excellent high kick in the first place by Walker, and then in the second place, good coverage by the Ram punt unit, a 53-yard punt. The Pom-Pom Mom's name is Phyllis.
Phyllis Wagner.
I knew it wasn't Phyllis George.
And this is some of the talent she has working with her.
A nice group.
She's been a Ram ticket holder for 27 years.
Johnny Davis carrying on first down off the handoff from Mike Ray. Gains a couple out to the 27. It'll be 2nd down and 8. We have less than 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Fred Dreyer made the stop. Dreyer has an interesting pregame superstition. Before every game, he has the Rams team doctor, the nationally renowned Dr. Robert Kurlan, who has performed knee operations on so many famous athletes. He has Dr. Kurlan throw him his jersey in the locker room, and Dreyer will not put the jersey on until he catches it in a way that feels comfortable. And they'll repeat the ritual 10, 15 times until Dreyer is satisfied with it. 2nd and 8. Ray throws it as far as he can, and it is picked up by Pat Thomas. Pat Thomas into Tampa Bay territory. A flag down on the play. They're going going to say that Thomas was down at the time that he made the catch for the interception. And they will nullify the return.
Ray wound up and threw that as far as he could on it. And he just couldn't get it out there far enough. That was good defense by the Rams.
For Pat Thomas, his 4th interception of the year, and here it is again.
You could see Ray putting everything behind this ball. And again, the interception's right here. And as he goes down, he is touched. It's a good call by the official, and we'll be right back.
Oakland beats Kansas City 20-10, which I'm sure is the top priority for this group of young ladies.
I don't know if everybody saw the score.
7:03 to play second quarter. After the Pat Thomas interception, the Rams have the ball at the 30. Haden to McCutcheon, who can't hold on. That was the 26th play of the first half for the Rams. They've gained 133 yards. Tampa's had the ball for 19 plays and a net gain of only 43 yards.
You can see who's dominating the statistics right away by just, the Ram defense has really risen to the occasion today of really stopping these guys.
Bob Costas with Tom Matty at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. The stats on Pat Haden to this point. His Rams lead it 10-3. McCutcheon carries on second down. Trying to drag some defenders with him. Aaron Brown was there, along with Richard Wood for the stop. Wood was the number 3 draft choice of the Jets back in 1975. He's now in his 4th year in the NFL, out of USC. Tampa Bay got him from the Jets for a 7th-round draft pick a year ago, so that has to rank as a good deal for them.
And his nickname is the Batman. He's all over the place.
3rd down and 6. Haden with plenty of time to throw. Over the middle for Willie Miller. Miller with his 31st reception of the year, and it's a Los Angeles first down.
There's a flag there, and I think we got a holding against the Rams.
They have been plagued by holding calls in this first half. They'll bring it back.
Ball, Dale. It's done. Holding, offense, number 77, 10 yards, still 3rd down.
Doug France came up with the holding penalty there. That pass play was good for 18 yards. And when they given him a first down in great field position again, moving the ball, kept the momentum going for him.
Instead, it's 3rd and 16 from the 24 with 6:21 remaining in the first half.
Miller caught that ball, and he's caught at least 2 passes in every game this season, so I suspect he may be a target this right now.
Miller wide left, Jesse wide right, and Cappelletti carries on 3rd and 16. And he'll be short by about half a mile.
Conservative football.
Just a few boos
Just
heard
a few
at the
boos.
Coliseum.
A little later in the ball game, you might hear a whole lot of them.
Aaron Brown, who was filling in for the injured Dewey Selmon, made the tackle on Cappelletti, and Glenn Walker comes in to punt. In the area of penalties, the Rams have been penalized 4 times so far in the first half. Tampa Bay has not had a flag thrown against them. Danny Reese again is the deep man. He's standing at his own 20. Walker's kick allowed to bounce and roll by Reese. And it comes to a stop at about the 17-yard line of Tampa Bay. A good kick by Glenn Walker.
I'll tell you one thing, though, that should not happen. That back man should be coming up and catching that ball, fair catching it without letting him have that extra roll in the ball. Here's games coming up.
The Giants go against the Redskins. These Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Detroit Lions. Atlanta and New Orleans, battle of teams contending perhaps for a wild card spot. And the Bears will try and get their act together against the Minnesota Vikings. Doubleheader games, Dallas and Green Bay. The Packers have already lost today, and Dallas is losing to Miami. And part of the country will see the San Francisco game as the second half of their doubleheader next week. Ricky Bell skipping out of bounds after a short gain on first down.
We have an update on that Denver-New York Jets game. Denver 21, New York Jets 7. And that is in the second period.
2nd down and 8 will be coming up.
You know, on that play right there, Ricky Bell had his back kicking out. He should have cut up back to the inside on that, Bob. Then he had a little bit more maneuverability. As it was, he had to really turn that corner and let it fly.
Unofficially, Ricky Bell has carried 7 times for 34 yards in the first half. The ball is at the 20 with 2nd down and 8. Mike Ray gives it to Ricky Bell, and Bell gets maybe a yard before Cody Jones is all over him. Jones got the job last year replacing one of the all-time greats, the retired Merlin Olsen, and while nobody can completely fill those shoes, Jones has come close.
Mr. Olsen. I can remember many, many stories playing against that guy.
3rd and 6.
We were out here when I played quarterback, Bob, and we had an occasion to use a quarterback sneak, and I had automatic at the line of scrimmage, and he knew it was coming. He just started giggling a little bit and nailed me.
3rd and 6 from the 22 with 4:45 remaining in the half. And Tampa Bay trailing 10-3. Mike Ray unloads under pressure. And a diving grab by Obradovic.
A great catch.
It's good for a 1st down.
Mike Ray led that ball perfectly to the sideline. He had to throw it that far to the outside. Otherwise, the defensive back could have stepped up inside and picked it off because it was good coverage. And he picks up 12 yards on that play.
Out to the 34 to keep the drive alive. The word from the Tampa Bay locker room, Doug Williams will not be back, and neither will Dewey Selmon.
We'll try to find out exactly what has happened to both these ball players. All we know right now is that they will not be playing again this afternoon.
So the responsibility falls on the shoulders of Mike Ray, who hands to Ricky Bell. They had some trouble with the exchange, but Bell managed to hold on, and Fred Dreyer made the tackle.
They picked up about 4 yards on that. Just good, hard running to the inside. That offensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is firing out and containing this number 1 defense. They're moving the ball. They're taking it by bits and pieces. They're not going after the bomb. And this is what Mike has got to do. He can't go after that long bomb. These guys are laying back. They've probably got the best secondary in the league right here. And they're just going to lay back and wait and let them throw that long one and pick it off like they did the one before.
Ricky Bell, who almost lost the ball on that last handoff, has fumbled only once in more than 140 carries this year. A fake to Davis, the blitz is on, and goodbye from Mike Ray. Bob Brzezinski, the 2nd-year man from Ohio State, really put the pressure on, and Jim Youngblood was coming from the other side.
We got a man down on the field.
Here comes Brzezinski from the right side and Youngblood from the left, and they sandwich Ray.
Hey, sure do. Mr. Brzezinski is from my old alma mater, Bob, from Ohio State. He's a big guy at 6'4", 230 pounds. This is his 2nd year in the league, and he's doing a great job beating out Isaiah Robertson.
Darryl Carlton, the right tackle for Tampa Bay, is the man down on the field. Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. What would happen if your city replaced its fire department with a private company fighting fires for profit? You'd save some money, but would your house be safe? That's the question I'm asking you, Mr. Matty. And you don't know the answer, but you will find out when 60 Minutes goes to Scottsdale, Arizona tonight. That's followed by Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton with All in the Family, Alice, Kaz, and Dallas tonight on CBS. I hope the Dallas story is happier than the one the Cowboys are experiencing in Miami so far this afternoon.
There's Mr. Carlton right there. He's coming off a little bit slow right now, but I think he might be all right. They're reaching up inside that pad. He'll have those pads off. Take a look at that right shoulder when he gets on the sideline. That was his 3rd sack on Ray. They're really coming after him, putting the pressure on the young quarterback. This is a young kid coming in and trying to fill the shoes of Doug Williams, and it's a tough job to come in there cold, not having any playing time at all, Bob, as a young quarterback.
I'll tell you, Tampa Bay could fill an entire hospital ward at this rate. They had plenty of injuries coming in, and they've lost 3 players so far in this first half.
And they're still right in the middle of this ball game. They're not out of contention of tying this thing up. They've just got to get some momentum going and drive moving.
3rd and 12 from the 32. Owens wide left, Grant wide right. And they're going to unload with Louis Carter throwing up the option. Look out, Morris Owens! Owens down inside the 5, and he takes it out of bounds at the the 2-yard line.
A fantastic play. The old halfback option with Paul Hornung made famous, Bob. Here he is coming down. This is what you do. You lull him to sleep, and all of a sudden you take off. And it is a super throw. He keeps him almost in perfect stride. He has to come back for the ball a little bit. And he steps out of, he gets knocked out of bounds right there. And it's 66-yard reception. I told you these guys were out of this ball game.
Louis Carter, making his first appearance of the day in the backfield, springs the surprise as he shows a great arm on the option pass.
I'll tell you, he threw that thing up there in orbit.
Bill Simpson, the free safety, was blitzing on the play, Tom, and that really left Owens in a one-on-one situation. He beat his man, and he was almost gone. Pat Thomas managed to bump him slightly and knock him out of bounds at about the 2.
Well, that really puts Tampa right back in this ball game. They can score right here. We got ourselves a ball game.
They are 2 yards away from a possible tying touchdown with 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Well, this is going to cost them 5, and that really hurts. Delay of game against the Bucs.
Now, I can't understand this.
Delay, offense.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 7.
That makes it a lot tougher now. Now we got a final on that Cleveland-Houston game. Houston 14, Cleveland 10.
Houston's been riding a roller coaster lately. They upset Pittsburgh. They lost to Cincinnati. They bounced back to beat the Browns.
And we also got an update on that Miami-Dallas game. There's a 28-yard field goal by Yepremian, and Miami's up on top towards the end of the second period, 20-3.
John McKay not happy about the 5 yards, which the delay of game cost his Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now Mike Ray goes to the sideline to talk it over with him. Louis Carter, by the way, has thrown the ball 3 times this year off that option situation and completed 2 of them, the last one for 66 big ones.
I don't think McKay quite understands, and I don't either, why there was a penalty at delay of game.
Jim Tunney is going to try and make it clear to him, but McKay is not buying the explanation. And there's his final comment on the situation as he waves his hand in the direction of Tunney. It's our first look today at Ray Malavasi. He was to have been the offensive coordinator under George Allen this year after working with the Ram defense with Chuck Knox. But, of course, Allen was given the heave-ho 2 games into the exhibition season, and Malavasi became the head coach. His team won their first 7. They've dropped their last 2.
And he has some talent here, I'll tell you, to work with. But Malavasi, the kind of guy that has opened up this offense, and I think Mr. Rosenblum is the kind of guy that likes to see a dynamic ball club. He's used to guys like, John Unitas throwing that football and making an exciting ball game for the spectators as well as winning.
Ricky Bell and Louis Carter are the running backs. Grant and Owens the wide receivers. Grant right side, Owens left. And here comes Owen in motion left to right. Ray will throw on first down. Look out, pressure from Dreyer. He gets it away, incomplete. Carter, the intended receiver. Fred Dreyer almost gobbled Mike Ray up.
And we got one of the Ram defensive backs that hurt his knee on that one.
Simpson. Looks like Bill Simpson, who's hobbling around out there.
You can see the pressure being put on Mike Ray right here. He doesn't know what quite to do with the ball. And Mr. Jack Youngblood is putting on the pursuit, and just as he gets rid of it, he is nailed. Ray is 2 for 4 right now for 24 yards, and he's been sacked 3 times in that backfield.
Simpson is helped off. Nolan Cromwell is his likely substitute. It was Cromwell who, on a fake field goal on the first play of the second quarter, sprinted 16 yards for the game's only touchdown. Frank Corral has a 30-yard field goal for the Rams, and Neil O'Donoghue a 42-yarder for Tampa Bay. 10-3, the Rams lead it Tampa Bay with a 2nd and goal from the LA 7. 3:09 to play in quarter number 2.
When you see a guy coming off the field like that, they can only mean one thing. He's probably got a knee strained or torn up on that thing. I don't know how he did it.
Simpson had knee surgery a year ago after being hurt in the regular season finale against the Redskins. Louis Carter, 1 or 2 before Elmendorf and Jackie Wallace hit him. Jack Reynolds also helped him out.
You can see right down here in the trenches what's happening. It's just a quick draw right up the middle, and he is nailed right there. Jackie Wallace comes up from the safety position and really sticks it to him, along with Jack Reynolds, number 64.
Bill Simpson in some pain on the sidelines. This has been a war all the way. Players being let off hurt left and right.
I thought I saw a war with the Atlanta game with the Rams, but these guys are hitting just as hard out here tonight.
Owens in motion on 3rd and goal from the 5. Ray under pressure. Jack Youngblood spins him down. For Youngblood, his 5th sack of the year.
And that's a 4th sack on Ray already today. The rush is coming in. You can see Youngblood beating him to the inside. Ray, no opportunity to let go of that ball, so we'll come up into a field goal position right now.
After the pass from Carter to Owens, they had 1st and goal at the 2. A delay of game set them back to the 7, and now they're going to have to settle for a field goal attempt. Dave Green kneels at the 22. This is a 32-yard attempt by Neil O'Donoghue, who hit a 42-yarder earlier. This one is fading left, and it's no good.
And O'Donoghue is not happy with himself right now, and I don't believe the team is either.
Talk about frustration. 1st and goal at the 2, and you come away with nothing. Next Saturday on CBS, the Sports Spectacular will feature a World Middleweight Championship bout between WBA champ Hugh Coro and Rodrigo Valdez, who was the man he originally took the title from. A 15-round bout live on the Sports Spec next Saturday on CBS. In addition, Seattle Slew makes his farewell appearance in the Stuyvesant Handicap for 3-year-olds and up. 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific on CBS.
And we've got 2:02 remaining in the first half.
And Cappelletti carries on 1st down. Cappelletti is having one of his better games of the season so far. He's stopped after a gain of 4, and we get the 2-minute warning with the Rams in front, 10-3. John Cappelletti, who had been averaging only 3 yards a carry coming into today's game, has carried 6 times for 38 yards so far, so a good start for him.
And he's caught a number of passes coming out of that backfield on those short screens and those halfback options coming out.
2nd and 6 from the 24. Haden dropping to throw. His line giving him time, and McCutcheon takes the swing pass. Gain of only 2 or 3. It'll be 3rd down.
Again, Pat Haden has taken advantage of hitting these backs. He's letting the Tampa Bay defense, which is primarily a zone defense, drop back into their depth. Using those 4 linebackers and 5 linebackers dropping back to the deep, taking away the long pass, and he's dumping it to the backs of the 3-man rush and letting the offensive lineman get out in front of it and try to set up some good yardage on that way.
Clock is moving. A little more than a minute to play in the first half. Haden throwing on 3rd down, and Cappelletti dropping it. The Rams will have to punt.
Now this also gives the opportunity for Tampa Bay to come back, because they should have good field position, unless he gets another one of those 53-yard boomers off with that great hang time.
I'd have to think they'd go after the block here, Tom.
You've got to put the pressure. You've got to put a pressure on a punter. They've got all 10 men lined up on the inside. Now let's see if they come after it. I sure would right now, with only 1:19 remaining in the half. I'd come after him.
Danny Reese again, the deep man, standing at his own 20. They may be trying to draw Tampa Bay off sides with the long count here. Here they come. They went after it. There goes the flag as they ran into Walker. No matter where Reese ends up on this, it's going to be Ram ball. They went for the block and they ran into the punter.
They sure. At least I called it right. Boy, you never hit that guy unless you got a clear shot at that ball. Then if you block it, you are allowed to hit him.
77, first down.
Bill Kohler ran in to Glenn Walker on the play, and that gives the Rams a first down.
We've got an update. Bob, we got an update on that Denver Jets game. It's 28-14. Matt Robertson passed 4 yards to Derek Gaffney to set that score up for the Jets.
Denver leading at 28-14. Haden to the air as the Rams try and put some more points on the board. Billy Waddy with the catch. And Waddy may go all the way. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. He's gone. Touchdown Rams.
What a great catch. Here's Haden setting up right now. Watch how he goes up and grabs this ball. Takes it away. Then he has the opportunity right here now to turn on that speed. And Waddy just outruns everybody for a 68-yard touchdown.
He grabbed the ball away from Cedric Brown, and then he just about faked Jarris White out of his shoes with a great bit of open field running for the touchdown. And so with 55 seconds remaining as we watch Billy Waddy take off, the Rams have gone in front 16-3. Now Corral for the 17th point. It's perfect.
And I think Haden might have hurt his shoulder on throwing that ball. He's over on the bench right now, and they're looking at his shoulder, his left shoulder, or his right shoulder right there. You can see him.
What a turn of events for Tampa Bay, trailing 10-3. A few moments ago, they had first and goal at the LA2. They come away empty-handed. The Rams are forced to punt on their next possession. They keep the ball on a running into the kicker call, and Haden goes to the air for the big completion to Waddy, and instead of a tie game, it's a 14-point Ram lead.
It turned around real quick, and Tampa has been playing great ball right now. And when you come up with those mistakes, you know, you're going to pay the price, Bob.
Here's the word on Bill Simpson. He did not hurt his knee. He has a twisted ankle. He may play in the second half. Darrell Carlton of Tampa Bay has a dislocated shoulder. He won't be back. Pat Haden hurt his shoulder on that last pass, but we don't know how seriously.
Speaking of passes on that one, 68-yarder, that's the longest Haden has in his career to date.
They try and keep the ball away from the deep return man as Corral just chips it down around the 30. And that's where Tampa Bay will take over with 54 seconds remaining.
Somehow, some way, Tampa's got to come up with a couple of big plays to get back in there and get a few points back after making that big mistake. When you make mistakes, you know, that everything turns around against you, and it really works against you, and it did on this last drive.
These are the trials and agonies of youth for John McKay and the Buccaneers. They have some impressive young personnel, but young personnel makes a lot of mistakes, and that takes you out of games that you really should be in.
If you take a look at their record this year, they could very possibly be 7-2, and you know, it's just a shame.
Ray swings it out of the backfield to Ricky Bell. Bell doesn't get out of bounds, so the clock continues to move. 42 seconds now. Jack Reynolds made the tackle.
Lining up on the ball. They have two plays lined up in the huddle.
Second down and 6 from the 34. Ray completes it again to Bell. Bell is at the 40-yard line, and that's a Tampa first down with 21 seconds. Jim Youngblood made that tackle. The Buccaneers call a timeout after this play, Tom.
You can see Mike Ray setting up, steps up inside the pocket right there, takes a short pass, and he's lucky he held onto that ball. Bell takes a real shot, but he does have enough to get the first down.
21 seconds remaining, and about 60 yards from the Los Angeles goal line. Looking at Haden along the sidelines, he seems to be okay, and he is receiving no further attention there, so apparently he'll be back in the second half.
He's trying to explain exactly what happened. He got hit on the right shoulder and was driven in with the left shoulder into the ground.
He had a nightmare of a game on Monday night. 3 3 interceptions and all kinds of pressure from the Atlanta defense, replaced late in the game by Vince Ferragamo. And some of the fans in L.A. wanted Ferragamo to remain as his replacement and start this game. But Ray Malavasi said, nothing doing. Haden's the quarterback, and he's performed well in the first half.
It's a contrasting quarterbacks. You take a look at Haden, 5'11". You take a look at Ferragamo, and he's about 6'4", 6'3". And he's a big quarterback. He stands up in that pocket, and he does have good speed.
And you take a look at John McKay, whom we just saw on the Tampa Bay sidelines. He has been through the trials of Job in the past 2.5 years. Bill Simpson, by the way, is back already in the Los Angeles lineup. So fortunately, his was not a serious injury. Ray unloading on the run. And he's got his man. Johnny McKay makes the catch out of bounds at the 31 of the Rams.
And I'll tell you, he took a shot after he caught the ball, but he held on to it and gave him great field position. They're down in there where they can at least get a field goal out of this. It was a 28-yard reception by John McKay. Mike Ray stepped up into the pocket. He's scrambling right here and really lets the ball throw. Watch the shot that McKay gets on the sideline as he steps out of bounds.
Pat Thomas drilled him there with 14 seconds remaining in the half. The ball at the 31. Time for a couple of plays. And then maybe, if they can't take it all the way in, a Neil O'Donoghue field goal. Ray with time to throw. He better get out of bounds with this. Still on his feet and inside the 10-yard line with 4 seconds left.
I'll tell you, smart playing by the quarterback. He got by the one guy. He knew what he had to do. He had to get out of bounds. He picks up 23 yards on the play. Here he is. He makes his move. He knows, defensive back knows he has to get out of bounds. He takes it away from him. He cuts back to the inside, but he's down inside, and they're going for the field goal.
With 4 seconds to go, the ball is at the 8. So the kick will probably be spotted at about the 15. A 25-yard attempt for O'Donoghue, who has hit a 42-yarder and missed a 32-yarder in the first half.
I would say that he better make this one.
This is probably an L.A. timeout. It is, to make him think about it.
I can tell this story one time. We were playing the Chicago Bears up in Chicago, and Dick Butkus and Lou Michaels was our place kicker. And Dick Butkus, just before the snap of the ball, we were all lined up ready to go, and the clock was ticking down and everything. And Lou was a pretty nervous guy when he kicked that field goals. And we just had a chip shot. There was like, 12 seconds left to go in the ball game. And he calls a timeout with 2 seconds left to go and makes Lou Michaels think about it. And Lou thought about it so much, he hit the goalpost, but it went through the uprights, and we won 17-14. But, you know, it really makes a guy nervous. You start yelling and screaming at him and hollering at him, hey, Lou, you can't make it. He made it for us, so.
I'll tell you what makes you even more nervous, knowing that somewhere, someplace, there's a bartender waiting to take your place if you miss this one. Green holds at the 15. O'Donoghue looks like he's got this one. He does. With 1 second to play in the first half, Tampa Bay has come back a bit. They trail it 17-6, but the story of this first half is a tale of might-have-beens for the Buccaneers.
That's right. They had every opportunity in the world. Whenever they're down there first and goal in the 2-yard line and have a delay of game penalty, you know, it's just not right. It's not good planning at all. And there was some kind of a mix-up between the coaching staff and the players on that one.
At halftime of our game here at the Coliseum, we'll be switching back to NFL Control in New York, and we'll be seeing highlights of some of the games which went on around the NFL this afternoon as we join Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy, Irv Cross, Jack Whitaker, Jimmy the Greek, and a cast of thousands.
You could see O'Donoghue talking to the coaches on the sideline with 1 second remaining in the ball game. I think you'll see what we call a squib kick right here. Keep it low on the ground, keep it away from the guys that can run it back.
Jerry Latin is the deep man. He's standing around the 5, but he's not going to get a chance to handle this ball, as you say, Tom.
I sure wouldn't give him a chance anyway, Bob. He's got that speed back there, and both the guys on the outside have the speed also. What you try to do is get it to those 3 front men up, the big linemen up there who are trying to, you know, form that wedge for him.
And Donahue squibs it. It's picked up by Carl Ekern as time runs out. And that is the end of the first half at the Coliseum in L.A. with the score. The Rams 17 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 6.
And, you know, he's a player's owner. He's the kind of guy that looks out after his ball players, looks out after their best interests, but he has one thing at heart that he likes to do, and this is why I really like him. He's a winner, and he wants to win. You know, guys who are complacent and don't want to win are not going to have winning ball clubs. This guy really is you know, he's out there rooting for his team, and you got great leadership. He has a son, Stevie, who is, you know, came up right from the bottom when he was at training camp picking up, you know, the socks and everything else that you want to call, picking him up right off the floors at the training camp, learned this game of football, has done a great job, and you also have Duke, you know, Duke.
Of course, it's always easier to climb the ladder of success when your dad owns the club, even if you do start out picking up socks.
Hey, you're not kidding. But he's a good kid, and he knows talent, and you got Klosterman right in there, and they've built this team. You take a look at what they have here and the draft choices that they have coming up this next year as far as talent, and they build their team on draft choices. Lots of young ball
What's
players.
the story you were telling me earlier today about the offer that Rosenblum had to buy the club?
This is great. He said I was talking to him on the sideline before the ball game, and he said that he had an offer for $65 million to buy the ball club. And he says, I got a telegram on it. And he says, I knew it was really a legitimate offer because the telegram was collect.
George Ragsdale is the deep man waiting for the kick from Corral, but it comes down instead to Danny Reese. And Reese turns it to the outside, stays on his feet, breaks some tackles, and gets to the 40. So Tampa Bay will have good field position to start the second half.
Here it is right here. You can see him. You know, this is one thing I don't like, carrying a football like this. You know, that's one of the fundamentals. You can not get that thing knocked out of your hand too quickly. Tuck that ball away.
Got to ask our director, Marvin Muse, not to show any replays for the next few minutes so that Tom Matty has a chance to finish this hot dog. Every time he tries to take a bite out of it, Muse pops a replay on the screen. Matty's got to swallow in a hurry and start talking. 1st and 10 from the 40.
We just got a report that Doug Williams has a broken jaw from the play where he's got really shot. Here's Mike Ray really scrambling.
Mike Ray, who took off for a big gain toward the end of the first half. Look at this. All the way down to the 17-yard line.
Fantastic. The pocket. He rolled one way. Everybody went that way. He broke back in. Again, you'll get a chance. It's a semi-roll. Sets up. Sees pressure coming from the inside. They had a tackle end game going.
Matty has to swallow the hot dog. He can't continue to speak. Ray goes 42 yards. Come on, here you go. Here's the hot dog. Here's the hot dog right here now. Open wide.
I'm done.
All right.
We're ready for it.
1st and 10. They spot the ball at the 18. So Ray, who had a scramble of about 23 yards toward the end of the first half, goes 42 on this one, which is considerably more than Johnny Davis got on that carry.
Mike Ray looked like Fran Tarkenton scrambling around there that time.
Jack Reynolds made the tackle on Davis. We saw Vince Ferragamo warming up on the sideline. We mentioned toward the end of the first half that Pat Haden had hurt his left shoulder on that touchdown throw to Billy Waddy. We don't know yet whether or not Ferragamo will come on to relieve him.
I'd like to have these kind of statistics. Ray has 2 for 65 yards.
He's Tampa Bay's leading rusher. He may be the first quarterback this year to have a 100-yard game. On 2nd down, out of the backfield to Ricky Bell. And Bell wrestled out by Jim Youngblood. Youngblood trying to convince the official that he recovered a fumble. Unfortunately, he was about 3 yards out of bounds at the time.
Ray is setting up here. You can see Bell going out to the side. Ray is leading him just a little bit. Holds onto that football before he gets knocked out of bounds and picks up about 4 or 5 yards right there. It's 3rd and 5.
Nolan Cromwell checks in for L.A. They go with a nickel defense on 3rd down from the 14-yard line. Tampa Bay might be on the verge of getting right back in the game.
If they can get on a scoreboard right now, Bob, they're back in this thing and they're knocking on the door.
It was the scrambling ability of Ray which set up the field goal at the end of the first half. And also his running ability, which has them threatening now. Look out, here comes the blitz. He throws up a lollipop, incomplete. He didn't even have time to turn around before the entire Ram defense was all over him.
I'll tell you, they came with the pass rush right here. Watch the blitz coming in. He's rolling to the right. Watch in the left-hand corner of your screen right now as the pressure is really being put on. Safety blitz.
Bill Simpson
has no chance to get the ball off.
Well,
great defensive
Neil
play.
O'Donoghue again. He's kicked 2 out of 3 so far this afternoon. Green holds at the 20.
You know, here's the thing that's happened to the Rams is these field goal kickers are really getting after him.
O'Donoghue got all of that one, his 3rd field goal in 4 attempts. And Tampa Bay starts out the second half in good shape with 13:02 to play in the 3rd quarter at the Coliseum in L.A. It's 17-9 Rams. Here we see some of Tom Matty's friends on the sidelines. The pom-pom mom. She's really got it going. Jodat fumbles the kickoff out of bounds, and it'll be bad field position for the Rams. The ball is at about the 12-yard line, so Tampa Bay's got some momentum going.
Here's that play. Here's a recap of that last Buccaneer drive. 4 plays, 60 yards. They only used up 2 minutes of the clock, though.
42 of those 60 yards gobbled up on the first play on the run by quarterback Mike Ray.
Well, they're right back in this ballgame. They need a touchdown. If the Buccaneer defense can really come alive right now and stop the Ram offense, we've got ourselves a ballgame.
Ferragamo has been warming up on the sidelines, but Haden starts the second half. Cappelletti and McCutcheon are his running backs. That's Jesse, number 81, in motion. McCutcheon carries on first down, smack into the arms of Richard Wood. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go.
Wood comes straight across on that, makes a great play, coming right underneath, making the tackle. Short yardage gain, if any.
If another Tampa Bay linebacker should get hurt, the call may come up to the booth for the famed halfback and sometimes quarterback Tom Matty. Can you play linebacker? They got nobody left.
The more things you can do, the longer you get to play.
Hayden's face on Bill Kohler came in and wrapped him up. So the Tampa Bay defense is an inspired unit as their offense put 3 on the board in a hurry, and they mean to get the ball back from Mike Ray.
They're going to have a tough second half here. This defense is fired up. They're rising to the occasion, which they've got to do. If they can keep him back up in here, that's the first sack that we've had on Haden today, but they're really keeping the pressure on him.
Exactly 12 minutes to play 3rd quarter. It is 3rd down and 14, and the ball is back at the 7. Retreats to the end zone. Almost intercepted by Jarris White. And that could have really been a crucial play.
They were both there. Not only was Jarris White there,
Mark Botany was also on the scene.
Top of it also.
White, who has intercepted 3 this year, almost at his 4th. It could have been a touchdown, and if not, it would have set the Buccaneers up deep in L.A. territory. As it is, they stand to get good field position. Walker having to punt out of his own end zone. Reese waiting back at about his own 45. This one is not a typical high Walker punt. Reese takes it on the run. They get to him quickly, but he is at the 40-yard line of the Rams.
Gives him great field position. We do have a flag on the play.
The Rams had an illegal man downfield. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether or not Tampa Bay accepts the penalty.
I wouldn't. I'd take that ball in a 40. No more chance of having a fumble or anything.
Ineligible lineman downfield during kick. Number 43 refused. First down.
Jim Jodat, who was the man who made the tackle on Reese, was the guy who got down illegally. It'll be Tampa Bay ball at the 40 when we return with 11:42 to play in the 3rd. Enjoying the sun at the Coliseum in L.A., one of the few NFL cities where you can still get a tan in November.
It's a beautiful day over here. It's overcast a little bit, but the sun is a real problem in the late afternoon on this ball field. I can remember playing down here. It always is in your eyes. Mike Ray.
This is a broken play, and Ray is sacked by Brzezinski. I don't think that Ray wanted to throw. It looked like he wanted to pitch, and somebody had missed the assignment, Tom.
You can see it right here. It looks like a quick pitch, but he goes the other way. Coming back from the backside.
Bob Brzezinski, the #1 Ram draft choice out of Ohio State a year ago, who was taking the job away from Isaiah Robertson, comes up with the 5th Los Angeles sack. They lose 5. It's 2nd and 15. Cromwell comes back in. They go with the nickel defense. Mike Ray has moved the Buccaneers pretty well since taking over from Doug Williams, but he has paid for every bit of it. He's been under pressure, and here's another example. The 6th sack, Cody Jones in there, and I believe that's the 3rd time that he has sacked the Tampa quarterback.
The reason why these sacks are happening is the fact that the defensive backs of L.A. are doing a great job covering the receivers.
Dallas coming back a bit.
Not much, though. Miami's up on top 29. That's a 3rd period.
We've got 11 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Tampa Bay trails it 17-9, and it's 3rd and 25.
What do you do here, Bob? 3rd
Quick
and
kick.
25.
Quick kick is your only recourse. Side. I think Dreyer jumped off. Ray needs 25 yards, and Cody Jones got to him and dropped him at the 45 of Tampa Bay.
Ray again had the opportunity here. He had the whole sideline open and run down that sideline. We do have an offsides on L.A. Freddie jumped.
So that'll make it 3rd down and 20.
Offside defense, number 89, still 3rd down.
You can see him come across right here, number 89, Freddie Dreyer. He's in the backfield. Yeah, that's a funny feeling for that offensive tackle. Say, boy, is he quick.
3rd and 20 from midfield. 10:50 showing on the 3rd quarter clock. Jones has him. He got rid of that ball in desperation. Now, I don't know if they're going to call intentional grounding, rule out a fumble, or just what they'll say.
Intentional grounding.
Cody Jones wants credit for that sack.
I don't blame him. That's about 4 for him.
It is intentional grounding. Mike Ray ought to be very well acquainted with Cody Jones by the time this afternoon is over.
He's going to be calling him sir, I'll tell you. There he is right there. He just intentional grounding. That could have been called a fumble just as easily.
It's 4th, and they've got to go to a different time zone for a 1st down. So Green kicks. Back to the 7 goes Wallace. A flag flies as he gets to the 15. There's going to be a penalty on the play. We'll sort it out when we come back. The Rams are penalized for clipping on the punt return. It sets them back to the 8-yard line.
You can see the clip coming right in the back of your screen here. Now watch. Jackie Wallace has the ball, returning the punt, a 53-yard kick.
It was Jimmy Jodat who clipped on the play. So a 53-yard punt by Dave Green, and there's Jodat, the guilty party, on the sidelines. And the Rams again face bad field position at their own 8-yard line. Tampa Bay has owned the first 4.5 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Let's see how long they can keep it going. Cotney coming up and faking a blitz. Then he peels back as McCutcheon carries, but only for a couple. Bill Kohler on the tackle.
Bill Kohler makes the stop.
Tampa's playing an inspired game right now, Bob, especially defensively.
They're trying to show Haden a lot of things. Cotney coming up, showing some blitz, and then dropping back because Haden did not handle all of the combinations that Atlanta threw at him on Monday night very well.
Boy, they blitzed him from the weak side. They had the safeties coming. They had all-out blitzes going and everything. And this is what they're trying to give Haden a look, so he'd automatically check off.
Willie Miller goes in motion on 2nd down and 8. McCutcheon trying to go outside. Cuts it back the other way, but only for 3. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Watch him double team Leroy Selmon on this play.
You can see him coming back both from the inside and the outside, driving him back out. He still spins out of it right there. They're really coming after. He's looking around for the ball on that one.
Give you an idea of what Leroy Selmon has done this year. Coming into today's game, he had 9 sacks. That's more than Jack Youngblood and Fred Dreyer, 2 renowned defensive ends for the Rams combined. And he was credited with putting pressure on the quarterback, hitting him after a throw and forcing him to throw early 50 times. This one intended for Nelson. Cotney is there to break it up. And the Rams will have to punt.
This Tampa Bay defense is doing another great job today. That's why they're 2nd in the league. They're really doing a great job at the beginning of the second half. And we should have good field position again. But if they keep having these sacks, if that offensive line can't keep the Rams off of Mike Ray, or those receivers can't get open, they had 3 sacks right in a row on the last drive against Mike Ray.
The Buccaneer defense has yielded a couple of big plays. The fake field goal for a touchdown by Cromwell, the 68-yarder from Haden Nowati. But aside from that, the Rams have not moved the ball that consistently against them. It is Danny Reese who doesn't like to fair catch them, but might as well have called for the fair catch this time, bringing it back for just about zip as he's dumped at the 47. Tomorrow night, CBS takes you to WKRP in Cincinnati, which was on Tom Matty's resume as he applied here at CBS. It's television's wackiest radio station. Don't miss this hilarious new comedy. And they'll stay tuned for People with our old friend Phyllis George throwing the spotlight on Liza Minnelli, Bonnie Franklin, and tennis star Guillermo Vilas. Those 3 favorites, MASH, One Day at a Time, and Lou Grand round out Monday's top lineup of shows on CBS. 8:58 to play, 3rd quarter. Ricky Bell. Couple of yards maybe on 1st down.
You got a score in that San Diego-Cincinnati game. San Diego up 13-0, and that is in the 3rd period.
Up and down year for Don Coryell's Chargers as well. Here's a team that loses to Detroit, then turns around and beats Oakland.
They're an up-and-down ball club, and, you know, it's been an exciting year this year in the NFL. Everybody's been knocked off. You know, there's no undefeated teams right now, and some of the games that even Pittsburgh has won have been very close today. They had to come back again the week before. It has been an exciting year.
2nd down, and we'll call it 9. They may go with the reverse. It comes around to Larry Mucker. And Mucker spins away from tacklers. And even that shot from Jim Youngblood didn't knock him down until finally the Ram defense converged on him. Well, Mucker actually lost a couple of yards on the play, but as it started out, he might have lost about 10.
Jim Youngblood missed a tackle in the backfield, but he really got bounced around up there. He took a couple of real tough shots.
The flea flicker and various combinations of it have been coming back in a big way this year in the NFL. A lot of teams going with the reverses, sometimes the triple reverses with passes off of it.
Yeah, it just adds another element of excitement. We got a 3rd down and 12 situation right now, and Mike Ray has got to generate some offense. He can't keep putting his pressure on the defense.
Here they come again. Ray stays on his feet and unloads. Batted up in the air and intercepted. It's Cromwell with the interception. And he's into Tampa territory at the 38. Nolan Cromwell having a big day. He ran in the fake field goal for a touchdown, and now he comes up with the interception.
You can see Mike Ray setting up again. The pressure's being put on him. He runs out of it, throws that ball right over, picked off. Nolan Cromwell, one of the great athletes, returns it. We'll see what happens after we come back. You can see by the great camera work our men do, the pressure that the Rams are putting on Mike Ray. These are the things that causes the kind of interceptions you have right there. They almost got to him right there. He has to step up, and these are the things that cause mistakes, and the defense is causing them.
Pat Thomas, who had an interception earlier, deflected that ball, allowing Nolan Cromwell to pick it off. Haden wants a big one on 1st down. And a leaping catch by Willie Miller. Miller with his 2nd acrobatic grab of the day. And his 32nd reception of the year. Mike Washington was hanging all over him, but he still caught it for a 27-yard gain.
Super play right here. Steps right up in front of it and holds onto that ball before he goes to the ground.
And so it's 1st and 10 at the 12. There goes Miller out wide to the left. And Ron Jesse, the other wide receiver, is also on the left side. Now Jesse comes in motion. They give it to McCutcheon, and down he goes for a loss. An 8-yard loss.
Coming
David Lewis
across.
came through.
I'll tell you, Lewis just came right across, beat the pulling guard right there, and gets McCutcheon right in there. Haden's handing off. You can see Mack pulling. Lewis came right across in front of Mack. Didn't even see him. Makes a great play in the backfield. Throws him for an 8-yard loss.
Check this size for an outside linebacker. 6'4" and 240. And still plenty mobile.
He can fly. He's got 4.65 speed in that 40. That's a lot faster than I was, I'll tell you.
2nd and 18 from the 20. They get some of it back on that pass to Jesse. They'll rule that he was down as soon as he caught it. He's at about the 7-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
You can see Haden setting up right inside. Watch Jesse. The safety's coming in also. The ball is thrown right there. Jesse grabs it.
13 yards on the pass play.
Picks up 13 yards. Now he's inside the 6 right there, or 7 rather.
Jesse goes out, replaced by Billy Waddy, who cut the touchdown pass in the first half. 3rd and 5. They've got to go to the 2 for the first down. Exactly 5 minutes to play. There's Waddy in motion. We're in the 3rd quarter. Haden with time to throw. Now that protection evaporates, and he's sacked at the 10. So again, the Tampa Bay defense denies the Rams, and they'll have to bring Frank Corral in for the field goal try.
You know, this club, Tampa, has really done a great job defensively. They have been down there knocking on the door, and they always come up and stop them, make them kick that field goal. So, you know, it's a young ball club. They've really got a lot of injuries today alone, not counting the ones they've had all through the season so far, and they're still playing great defense.
You think they're aware of the possibility of a fake this time?
I sure would be looking for it.
Nolan Cromwell kneeling at the 17. If he kicks it, it'll be a 27-yard attempt. It's on the way. It is good. With 4 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, the Rams have increased their lead to 20-9 over Tampa Bay. The Rams trying to break a 2-game losing streak. They have not lost 3 in a row since 1969. Coming up this Tuesday on CBS, you see an all-star lineup of a different kind. That's our news team.
Election
We'll cover the elections for you. Walter Cronkite, Harry Reasoner, Roger Mudd, Dan Rather, Leslie Stahl, Bruce Morton, and Eric Severide with the analysis. If he does as good a job as Tom Matty, we'll all be happy.
Oh, I don't know about that. We do have an update on that San Diego-Cincinnati game. In the 3rd quarter, San Diego 19, Cincinnati 0.
So Cincinnati, which broke their losing streak last week, apparently is on their way to their 9th defeat of the year. Little ride around the field, provide some scenery.
I tell you, they're getting better every year. No comment, huh, Bob? Talking about the teams.
There's Frank Corral. And the deep man is George Ragsdale. Oh, Corral got all of this. Ragsdale's going to bring it out. And leaps into a bunch of white shirts at about the 22. Carl Eckern was the first man to hit him.
For 2 yards, he paid the price.
He could have remained untouched by simply staying there in the end zone, and he would have been just about as well off. Rams scoring drive, only 4 plays, 59 yards, and they settled for the field goal of 27 yards by Frank Corral. They kept the ball almost 3 minutes.
Well, we've got a little over 55,000 people here today, and they're seeing their Rams taking command, especially their defense doing such a great job against the Tampa's offense.
Well, here's Mike Ray, who has been a man under considerable pressure since he came on to replace Doug Williams. Pressure of two kinds. Number one, the responsibility of taking over at quarterback, and number two, the pressure provided by the Ram defense as they've been all over him. This is Frank Grant's first catch of the game, and only the third catch of the year for the former Washington Redskin, but it's good for a Tampa first down.
I think you're going to see more of what's happening right here, right now. Mike Ray getting to the outside and throwing that ball. He's got to get away from that pocket because the Rams are putting too much pressure on him. It's a good throw and a good catch. He picks up some additional yardage after he makes the reception.
They got 19 yards out to the 41. .335 remaining in the third quarter. Ricky Bell struggling forward for about 3. This is a big tandem of backs for Tampa Bay. Davis at 235 and Bell, who is used as a tailback frequently, at 220.
You know, Bell's 12 for 49 yards right now, and they're both big backs, and they really dig in there. They've got to get some more fire off that offensive line. They've got to blow that Ram line back, and it's tough. These guys are big and strong. They wouldn't be number one in the NFL in defense.
And a big key against the Rams is to make good yardage on first down, because the statistics say they have the best third down defense in the NFL, and this is going to be third down, and a big chunk for Mike Ray as Bob Brzezinski got an easy sack. All he had to do was gently fall on Mr. Ray after Ray had gone to the turf himself.
Again, you saw right here is that Ray is trying to get to the outside. He wants to get to the outside. He's got to keep that defensive line moving and keep it away from him putting that big rush on. And that's the 7th sack against Ray already today. He must set some kind of record.
Prior to today's game, as we see Isaiah Robertson come back in a passing situation, replacing Brzezinski, the Rams had allowed their opponents to convert on only 37 of 130 third down opportunities, and that's the best figure in the league. This is third down and 16, and they can send everybody now, except Jack Youngblood didn't wait for the appropriate time, so this will cost somebody 5. It's against Tampa Bay.
Rocky Freitas jumped off before the count. He's new in there. With Carl.
False start, offense 74, still third down.
Rocky Freitas, the veteran they obtained from the Detroit Lions, 11-year man out of Oregon State, guilty of illegal procedure. Now it's 3rd and 21.
The Rams just keep pushing them back and pushing them back.
Grant goes wide left, Owens wide to the right, and Davis and Bell remain as the running backs behind Mike Ray. And they'll keep it on the ground. Ricky Bell needs 21 yards. He'll get less than half of that, and Tampa Bay will have to punt. Isaiah Robertson made the tackle, which gives us a chance to talk about Isaiah.
Good old Isaiah. The best that there ever was.
According to Isaiah.
According to Isaiah. Here's a guy, he's been Pro Bowl so many times, everything like that. And here's a guy that came out, Bob Brzezinski. He was drafted number 1 in 77. He made the all-rookie team. He's just a super linebacker, and Isaiah, has just been living back on his laurels, and he's got to produce.
Jackie Wallace fields it inside the 10. Another good kick by Green. A penalty flag flies, and Wallace is down at the 15-yard line.
And we got another clipping penalty, I believe. And again, the Rams going to start back in the hole.
You were talking about Robertson. Needless to say, he's miffed about Brzezinski taking his starting job away. That was a 51-yard punt, by the way, by Green, and Jim Tunney will make it official. Unfortunately, Jim forgot to turn his microphone on, but it's holding against the Rams. Robertson was saying, Tom, that... All right, now we're going to listen to Jim again. Okay, Jim, take it away.
Multiple foul, illegal use of the hands, number 24 and number 80, half the distance of the goal line. First down.
So that moves the ball back to the 5. Now we'll get to that Robertson story. Naturally, he's upset about losing his starting job, and he says he can't understand it. If you want to know anything about linebacking, he told the press, just come to me. I'm the Bible. I'm the professor. I wrote the book on the subject. Well, apparently Ray Malavasi didn't read that book because he's got him on the bench and he's got Brzezinski starting.
Well,
now, if I can just catch my plane before Robertson hears about this, I'll be in good shape. You run the interference, and I'll make like O.J. running through the airport, okay? 2nd down, 7 yards to go from the 8. McCutcheon. A flag is down on this play. McCutcheon has a first down, but we'll have to wait and see what the penalty will be. It's against the Rams, and it's holding.
And McCutcheon isn't too happy about it. You know, when you're a running back and you pick up good yardage like that, and then all of a sudden you see that flag, you say, oh, I took all that punishment. Now I have to walk back to the back of the huddle again, and we got a penalty against us. It's frustrating. We're keeping Mr. Tunney busy right here if he wants to talk.
Holding offense, number 60, half the distance to the goal line, still 2nd down.
Dennis Hara held on the play. McCutcheon has had a tough day for the Rams, but he has company. In the last 2 weeks, the Buccaneers held Walter Payton to 34 yards on 15 carries, his lowest total in 41 games. And then last week against Green Bay, they held Turdell Middleton to 37 yards and 20 carries. So they've done a job on some of the league's best backs. It's 2nd and 11 from the 4. Cappelletti gets 6. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
If Tampa Bay can hold them again right here, again, they're going to have that great field position if they can generate some offense. Mike Ray has got to do something. Either he's got to start rolling out totally and, you know, just a sprint out pass just to keep that defensive line of the Rams contained inside.
Bob Costas with Tom Maddox. 22 seconds to play. 3rd quarter at the Coliseum. It's a 3rd down and 5 play for Haden and the Rams. And they are going to be backed up to the back of the end zone for this punt. Dave Pear got through for the sack.
And that defense is excited about it, and rightfully so. They are doing a great job. Here's Haden coming out. He's doing the rollout right here. Pear coming to the outside. Coming right here on the tackle, finishing it up. Knocks him back, almost gets a safety there and about the 3-yard line. That's a 3rd sack on Haden today.
For Pear, his 6th sack of the year. Somehow, Baltimore let him go, and Tampa Bay took him in the expansion draft. And among teams that play the 3-4, Pear is one of the best nose tackles in the business. Time will run out here before Walker can get the punt away. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, the Rams 20 and Tampa Bay 9. And we now pause for a word from your local station. Glenn Walker has averaged about 44 yards a punt so far this afternoon. And on the first play of the 4th quarter, he needs a good one from very deep in his own end zone. Danny Reese is waiting at midfield. Walker gets off a high kick, which Reese grabs at the 42. Across the 30 and down to the 28. So the Bucs are in great shape, Tommy.
They're in super field position right now. All they've got to do is generate some offense. They're only back. You know, if they get this touchdown here, they're really in the ball game. They've got to be able to score. They've got to generate some offense. And that was only a 39-yard punt. Boy, he had some pressure put on him.
Nolan Cromwell made that tackle on Reese. You think he isn't versatile? He scored a touchdown off a fake field goal. He's intercepted a pass. He makes tackles on the special teams.
You know, we were talking to their PR director earlier today, and he said that this kid is probably the most versatile athlete they have on the ball team.
They mark the ball at the LA 29. First minute of the 4th quarter. Ricky Bell finds some daylight across the 20. And he just drags Rod Perry with him as he gets inside the 10. They're going to spot the ball at the 7. There is a flag, however, on the play.
Again, you can see Ricky right here. Watch how he makes a cut back to the inside to the left right here. Following his blocking, great balance, breaks the outside. Now you have a foot race. Going down the sideline right here. He picks up 22 yards, and watch what happens after the play here as the flag comes out right there. Out of bounds.
Looked like a late hit by Pat Thomas, which will cost them some additional yardage.
Half the distance to the goal line. They'll be inside the 5.
They've been here before, however, and came away with nothing.
They have another delay of game, I think.
This is the Jim Tunney program.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the runner, number 27, first down.
So they spot the ball just outside the 3-yard line. 14:41 remaining, fourth quarter. The Bucs trail 20-9, but they're knocking on the door. Ragsdale for his first carry. Maybe a yard and a half on the play. It'll be second down and goal.
They cannot be denied right down here. They've got to score. They've got to capitalize on the big break right there and the great run by Ricky Bell in the previous play. They've got to come up with some points on the scoreboard and preferably a touchdown.
You'd think that they'd almost have to go for it on fourth down if they're close at all, if it gets to that point, because a field goal would leave them 8 points short, and they still couldn't tie with a touchdown.
Gotta go.
They spot the ball at the 2, second and goal. Carter is 32, Bell 42 carries. Ricky Bell didn't get there. He got to the 1, where it will be third and goal.
I'd have to give it to Mr. Bell again and let him go up to the top. The thing that the back has got to do when you're going to the top is you've got to get to the line of scrimmage like here. Now watch him come up over the top. He got to the line of scrimmage. And boy, he comes down. First thing he hits is his head on that one. But they've got to score. And I'd give it to the big back. Let him have it. Let him go up over the top again.
Bell has scored 4 touchdowns so far this year. The most of any Tampa Bay back. They give it to him. He got there. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
He got in there. Great job by the offensive line, blowing him out. Here you can see it right from the ground level. Great camera shot right here. Watch him come. Bell goes up over the top, keeps his balance, hops right in there for a touchdown. 6 points, and we've got an exciting ball game here, Bob.
13:41 remaining, and if O'Donohue adds the extra point, we've got a 20-16 game. And when you think of the opportunities that Tampa Bay really has had to pack it in today, you've got to admire their grit. They're playing hurt. They've got several of their key men out. They're down to one of the best teams in the league, and yet they have come back. O'Donohue's kick is good. And here's a look once again at the touchdown by Ricky Bell, which cut the difference to 20-16. Tampa Bay dropped the ball at the 29 after the punt out of the end zone by Walker. It took them just 4 plays and 1 minute and 8 seconds to score their first touchdown of the day and cut it to 20-16. Jerry Latin fields a bouncing kickoff by Neil O'Donohue. Brings it back across the 30-yard line. And a loose ball. And Tampa Bay has recovered.
Oh,
Latin fumbles on the kickoff.
Boy, what a break they've got. Tampa has got to be excited about that. Here it is right now. Latin picked up the ball. He's coming up, looking for blocking. Breaks to the outside. Goes up over the top, and as he's on his way down, the ball pops out right there.
And it looks like Bill Kohler who recovers it. Yes, it is.
What a break.
First and 10 from the 31 with 13:33 remaining, and they have done it without their starting quarterback, Doug Williams. Mike Gray is directing the attack. He drops to throw, and he's got his non-tight end, Jim Obradovich. And Obradovich battles down to around the 13-yard line. Oh, these Bucs are hot right now.
You can see Obradovich right here. Mike Gray setting up. Top hand, right-hand corner, right in there. He drills the ball to the inside, breaks the tackle right there, keeps his balance. Picks up a big first down, and he's almost to the 10-yard line.
A 19-yard game. There are raised stats, very respectable. Dave Elmendorf made the tackle on Obradovich. They spot the ball at the 12. First and 10 from there. Ricky Bell, who scored the touchdown a moment ago, gets a couple of tough yards to the 10.
Mistakes are the key right here. They're really putting the pressure back against the Rams defense right now. This is where Tampa Bay did such a great job. They had the pressure put on them, and they rose to the occasion. Now the Rams defense has got to stop them right now.
If I'm not mistaken, that was the first turnover of the game by the Rams, but it comes at such an important time because Tampa Bay had the momentum going as it was, and now they're in position to move in front. The ball is at the 10, where it's 2nd and 8. The clock is moving with 12:10 to play in the game. LA leads it 20-16. And Ray drops the throw. He has time for the end zone. Captured by Rod Perry. Perry with his 4th interception of the year. It's the 3rd pickoff by the Ram defense today, and it stops the Tampa Bay drive.
Again, we put that pressure, as I said, on the Ram defense, and they came up with a big play, a great interception here, right in front of it.
So Rod Perry shuts the door on the Buccaneers, and with 11:58 remaining, it's still 20-16 Rams. Rod Perry is the man of the hour at the Coliseum, and the Cowboys are coming back. They trail Miami 23-16. It was Staubach with a 9-yard pass to Drew Pearson with just under 5 minutes remaining in that game, which puts the Cowboys back in it. Jim Jodat carried on that play, and he lost a yard. Go ahead, Tom.
I was just going to say again, the Rams defense, the Bucs defense has got to do the job again right here. First down play right there. They throw him for a 1-yard loss. A 2nd and 11. Hayden's got to come up and generate some offense. He's got to get something going here.
Let's make it a 2-yard loss and call it 2nd down and 12. Haden finds Willie Miller, and he's got a Los Angeles first down. It's a 13-yard gain out to the 31.
That's a big first down right there. They've got him out of the hole.
Willie Miller is 31 years old, but only in his 3rd year in the NFL. His career was delayed as he served in Vietnam, which had him starting his collegiate career late.
Last year he had that dislocated elbow that really was put on injured reserve, missed the whole season.
Hayden will throw. And there is a grab by Terry Nelson. Now let's see if they rule it a good catch on a fumble or an incompletion. They're saying incomplete.
Wow.
We did a game a few weeks ago in Pittsburgh, Tom, where John Stallworth held onto a ball for considerably less than Terry Nelson had that one, and they said okay.
That's right. I think that Tampa had come up with a fumble recovery on that one, so that's another break for the Rams.
Hayden is 11 for 20, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 sacks, no interceptions. 2nd and 10 from the 31. 10:41 remaining in the game. Jim Jodat. You could see the flag fly as Jodat got a couple of yards.
And the Rams are caught again for holding, I believe.
Prior to this play, the Rams had been penalized 9 times for 67 yards. The Bucs only twice for a total of 10. And this will be the 10th time that a flag has been thrown against L.A. as Jim Tunney will step off 10 for holding.
Holding, offense, number 60, still 2nd down.
That's the 3rd time that Dennis Harrah has been caught for holding today.
You know, Dennis is coming back after an injury. And is hoping to boost this line, get this offensive line back, generating some offense. The last 2 weeks have been sort of slim pickings for him.
It's 2nd down and 20. Hayden has time to throw, and now he's going to keep it. He's got about 10 yards before he goes down, just before Dave Lewis was about to lower the boom.
I think he made a very wise decision falling down on that one. We've got a Cincinnati-San Diego score. San Diego 22, Cincinnati 0. That is in the 4th period. Cincinnati's got its problems this year.
Poor Homer Rice. He took over for Bill Johnson, but it hasn't been much better for him. He did get a victory last week. they're being shut out today by San Diego. It'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 31. Clock is moving just inside, 10 minutes to play.
Tampa's got the blitz on.
He picked it up pretty well, but Miller was really drilled by Mike Washington, and he stops him short of the 1st down.
You can see everyone coming on this. Haden sets up. You can see down the corner there, right there. It's just what they call an in pattern on a blitz. If you see the blitz coming, you're supposed to break to the inside and watch the contact right here.
There really were 2 good plays there. Haden did a good job of picking up the blitz and went with the toss to Miller, but Washington knew how far Miller had to go, and he stopped him dead in his tracks, a yard short of the 1st down. Reese is the deep man. Walker will kick again.
Come on, Walker, kick it.
Danny Reese at the 20. Loose football. It looks like the Rams have it. They do. Reese never should have returned that kick. They were all over him the minute he caught it.
Here it is right here. He tries to break through the 2 of them, and they strip him of the ball right there. It pops out of his hands. And number 54 comes up with it.
Dan Reisick on the recovery.
Oh, he's one happy guy. Look at him on the sideline right there. Mistakes, mistakes.
Reese is one of the best punt return men in the business, but he does not like to call for the fair catch, and that time he would have been better advised to stick that arm up in the air and be content to take it at the 20. Now it's the Rams leading 20-16. Jodat was in the general vicinity of the pass.
Very smart on Haden's part. Let me tell you, as long as you throw that thing out of bounds, you can throw it 50 feet over his head. It doesn't matter. But he got rid of that ball because there was good coverage by the Bucs again. You know, if I were this Tampa Bay defense, I would really be a little bit upset about what's happening. They're playing their hearts out there. They're stopping what I consider one of the best offenses in the leagues. And the Rams, although they've been stymied these last 2 weeks, they're still a tough offensive team.
If Tampa Bay can hold them here, even if they limit them to a field goal, they'll still be in the game because a field goal would put the Rams up by only 7. Long count by Haden, and a handoff to Cullen Bryant. Bryant finding his hole very well. A nifty run by Cullen Bryant, close to a 1st down.
Just short. Here he's coming across. You can see as he comes across, he sees there's nothing to the outside, cuts back up to the inside, makes a great move right there. And they mark the ball back a lot farther than what I thought.
It's going to be 3rd and about 1 as they mark the ball just inside the 15.
They're bringing the horses in right now to get that 3rd and short yardage situation.
2 tight ends, Terry Nelson and Charlie Young. Interesting story about Young. Here's a guy who caught 55, 64, and 49 passes in successive seasons for Philadelphia, and now finds himself as a 2nd stringer with the Rams, coming in on a blocking situation and little other action besides that.
He's been all pro. He's been all everything, boy.
They need 1 yard, and Haden's going to throw for it. And everybody in the stadium questions that call. Charlie Young was the intended receiver.
I sure do. I question that call totally.
Well, that's the kind of play. If it works for a touchdown, they say, well,
great call.
You faked everybody out of their shoes and came with the unexpected. But when you don't get it, they say, you need just 1. You've got backs like McCutcheon, Cappelletti, and Bryant. Keep it on the ground, and you're sure to get it.
Their 3rd down efficiency is really bad today. They're 2 for 14. So Tampa's defense has again come up with the big play and stopped him.
Reisick will center. Cromwell will hold at the 22. A 32-yard attempt by Frank Corral. It's on the way. It is good.
We may be looking at a tie ball game if they can generate some offense. They're up by 7.
The overtime possibility exists with 8:08 left in the game after the Corral field goal. It's Rams 23, Bucs 16. The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. And on the kickoff. It's Louis Carter who grabs the boot by Frank Corral and gets across the 30-yard line for Tampa Bay. The Bucs have exactly 8 minutes to try and get the tying touchdown.
If they get anywhere near down there, they've got to have a 4-down situation because they're 7 points behind. A lot of pressure on this young ball player right here, Mike Ray. He's done a great, I think he's done a great job in the second half coming in for Doug Williams and really doing a good job.
He had a few bright moments in the past in relief of Kenny Stabler with Oakland, but of course, at that time, he was with an experienced championship caliber club, and it's easier to step into that situation than this one. Ray under pressure completes his pass to Rod Phillips of the Rams on the sideline.
And Mike Ray did a very smart thing. He threw it out of bounds on that one. His man was covered that he was looking at.
It'll be 2nd and 10. Jack Youngblood was putting pressure on Ray on that play.
This Ram defense is tough. They have always been a tough defensive ball club. Going back even when I used to play, Bob, we used to have some of the greatest battles against this team right here.
Isaiah Robertson and Nolan Cromwell are in. Cromwell, the 5th defensive back. Robertson replacing Brzezinski at linebacker in a passing situation, but they keep it on the ground. Ricky Bell gets only 3. Looked like his own man slowed him up, Tom. He wanted to break outside and couldn't get around the blocker.
My producer is giving me a little static. He said, I can't remember back that far when you played against the Rams. He was at the period of Grantland Rice. Thank you, Tommy O'Neill.
Now, what's this ring on the finger here?
That's that 70 championship game, Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys.
You don't wear the one from the Jet game in '69, do you?
Of course. That was the best game I ever had in my life when we lost.
How quickly they forget the heroics of Matty when the final score is Jets 16 and Colts 7. Mike Ray on 3rd down. He needs 7. A second interception by Pat Thomas, who picked one off earlier. It was intended for Morris Owens. Let's look at the rush.
The rush is great again. They're really putting the pressure on Mike Ray. Youngblood from the backside right there. He gets rid of that ball, and he pays the price after he gets rid of it. Ray is now 7 for 15 for 100 yards, and it puts him in a punting situation. They just did not generate any offense.
As you can see, Dave Green has really done a good job punting today. 7 minutes left in the game. Jackie Wallace at the 20-yard line. Runs into his own man and comes back the other way. Down at the 27. Charlie White made the tackle on the play, and there's a flag down.
We may have another punt. Let's see what happens.
They had an illegal man downfield.
I think we're going to have another punt.
Nice over-the-shoulder grab by Jim Tunney.
He's the star of the day, I'll tell you right now.
This is only the 3rd time that the Buccaneers have been penalized in the game, but one of them was very costly, the delay of game down near the goal line.
Ineligible lineman downfield, number 86. Still 4th down.
4th and 14 now from the 29. 6:53 remaining. It's LA by a touchdown at 23-16. This time Wallace moves up to around the 30 in anticipation of Green's kick. Dave Green backs him up to the 22. Across the 30-yard line, it opens up for Jackie Wallace. Spinning away from a tackler and out across midfield and into Tampa territory.
Great return by Jackie Wallace. He was with the Baltimore Colts a couple years ago, and it did a great job as a back. And here he is right now, breaking to the outside, makes a good return, and puts the Rams in great field position when they come back.
6 minutes and 37 seconds left at the Coliseum in L.A. They have turned the lights on. It's 1st and 10 from the 48. The Rams lead at 23-16. McCutcheon, he's got company, and a loss of 10.
Listen, this Tampa Bay team is playing inspired defensive football, not too much on offense. But here's a shot from ground level. Haden is handing off. McCutcheon coming around, looking for a place to come to the inside. Selmon putting the pressure on him right there. Gets him in the backfield. A 10-yard loss. Great defense. Listen, this guy is tough. He's a complete football player.
They're going to call it a loss of 11 to be exact. 2nd and 21. We move inside, 6 minutes to play. Haden to Cappelletti. And Cappelletti is in trouble. He gets away from Selmon. But not from the next two Buccaneers. Richard Wood was the first man to hit him.
Every time these two defenses are getting in the ball game, they keep pushing the offense back farther and farther. We got a 3rd and what, 20-some yards, 25 yards?
So Tampa Bay is looking at the possibility of getting the ball back again if they can hold them on this 3rd down play. Ball is back at the 36. Clock is moving with 5:10 remaining.
They say this little man can't throw the football. They're sadly mistaken. He laid that thing out there. Here is a real upset. The Jets coming back. 31-28. That's the 4th quarter. There's 5:45 remaining. Matt Robinson had a 75-yard TD pass
to Wesley Walker.
To Mr. Wesley Walker.
And they trailed 28-14 at one time in that game.
I thought it was going to be a runaway for Denver. They're leading that Western Division out there. But they've got their hands full with the Jets today.
The Jets really bouncing back after a shellacking a week ago at New England. Glenn Walker trying to angle for the sideline. Reese plays it out of bounds. Danny Reese with some running room. Out of bounds at the 40. So it's good field position for Tampa Bay. 4:45 left in the game, and they trail 23-16.
He shanked that one off the side of his foot. That's his worst punt today, a 35-yarder. And it gives Tampa good field position. Mr. John McKay on the sideline right over there. He'd like to see someone come up with a touchdown right now to get this ball game back into an overtime position.
Meantime, Ray Malavasi is sweating it out. His team has been upset 2 weeks in a row. New Orleans beat them first and then Atlanta. And it's not out of the question that Tampa Bay can make it 3 if they can mount some offense here. Ricky Bell lunging forward for some extra yardage.
Picks up about 6 on the play, but he almost broke it. You can see the hole opening up right here from an end zone shot. Watch Ricky Bell break to the outside right here. Almost breaks this. If he can break this tackle, he's got lots of running room. But he lunges